U.S. President Donald Trump has said that Russia and Ukraine would immediately start peace talks after he spoke with Vladimir Putin, despite the Russian leader rebuffing his call for an unconditional truce. Trump framed the two-hour conversation as a breakthrough on his Truth social network. After Monday's call, he said, and I quote, "I believe it went very well. Russia and Ukraine will immediately start negotiations towards a ceasefire and, more importantly, to end the war." Later, Trump told reporters at the Oval he thinks Putin is ready for a ceasefire.
I believe Putin wants to do it. Now, if I thought Putin didn't, I mean, that's what I do. My whole life is like deals, one big deal. And if I thought that President Putin did not want to get this over with, I wouldn't even be talking about it.
Trump added that there are some big egos involved, but he was hopeful of achieving the truce. However, he also repeated his warning that he could abandon the entire process if there is no progress.
I think something's going to happen. It's a very big egos involved, I tell you. Big egos involved. But I think something's going to happen. And if it doesn't, I'd just back away and they're going to have to keep going. Again, this was a European situation. It should have remained a European situation.
Speaking to Russian media, Putin termed the call with Trump as informative, open and useful. He said he's ready to work with Kiev on a memorandum towards ending the war.
We agreed with the U.S. President that Russia will suggest and is ready to work with the Ukrainian side on a memorandum on a possible future peace treaty, which defines a number of issues, such as the principles of settlement, the terms of a possible peace agreement, and so on, including a possible ceasefire for a certain period of time, if the appropriate agreements are reached.
However, the Russian president added that both Moscow and Kiev should show maximum effort to find compromises that would suit all sides. He stressed that any resolution will have to address the root causes of the war. The Kremlin said Putin and Trump did not discuss a timeline for a ceasefire in Ukraine. The Kremlin aide Yuri Ushakov said Trump and Putin are both in favor of meeting in person and will assign their teams to work on preparing a meeting, but no venue has been agreed. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky spoke to Trump both before and after the Putin call, urging the U.S. president to toughen sanctions against Russia if it refused a ceasefire.
I asked him before his conversation with Putin not to make decisions about Ukraine without us. And for us, these are matters of principle and very important. We agreed that we would get in touch after his conversation with Putin.
Zelensky also ruled out withdrawing troops from parts of eastern and southern Ukraine under Kiev's control, rejecting demands put forward by Russia for ending its invasion. European nations furthermore backed Kiev's calls for Western sanctions against Russia to be toughened if it does not agree to a ceasefire quickly after the Trump-Putin call. Trump spoke to a host of Western leaders after the Putin call, including European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen and the leaders of France, Germany, Italy and Finland. Meanwhile, according to both Trump and Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, Pope Leo XIV has offered to host the Russia-Ukraine talks at the Vatican, although the Vatican did not confirm the Pope had made such an offer.
I think it would be great to have it at the Vatican. Maybe it would have some extra significance. And I saw that it was discussed yesterday, so I thought, and people told me that they'd be honored to do it. I would imagine they would be. So, no, I think it would be maybe helpful.